Okay, well, I've got the keyboard out. That was just a case of undoing about 9 or 10 screws underneath, which drops it into these holes here, which probably just about out of shot. But now we can see the main board, main processor board with the 68K processor. One of the Motorola 68K family of probably UART or serial converter. I'm not sure, we'll have to look it up. It's MC6868. The Motorola made a whole fleet of chips which went alongside their processors to achieve a variety of things, so it's one of those. These are Toshiba TC534,000s, which I think are 4 megabit EEPROMs. It says MC Wave, so that's obviously the wavetable ROMs on there. This is the operating system chips, the upper and lower ROM. See the VFX 1.5, so version 1.50. See if I can move it a bit closer. So that's the OS. This is obviously system RAM, some 256 kilobit chips, some more RAM down here. Got a shot again. And standard TTL logic from well, pretty much standard 1980s build, really. See this a lot on arcade boards, very similar construction. Couple of, well, one surface mount Ensoniq chip there, and not really sure what this is. It's got a clock chip on it. Your guess is as good as mine, really, if I Google the chip numbers, but obviously some form of clock. Well, I don't know, no idea really. I would have to look up the chip numbers on there. I'm not even sure that is searchable. That might be a gauge array, to be honest. So a block of logic or programmed logic from the factory, which basically sets up most of the board. So basically the glue logic is probably all in there. That looks like a gate array to me, but I would have to Google that to be sure. And actually, that was totally out of shot. I'll move this down here. Yes, and get to focus. That's the gate array chip I was talking about there. So some form of clock on there. It's like a voltage divider, maybe voltage regulator. Not sure. And there's the surface mount Ensoniq chip there. And again, another giant Ensoniq proprietary chip. This is all the DAC and amplifier section here. Nothing too surprising. Back over to the power supply board. So there's the main transformer up the back. Obviously putting in a ton of voltages, judging by the number of fuses. 5 fuses, rectifier diodes, a lot of smoothing caps. Yeah, pretty much standard standard power supply with the voltage regulators on the back. Does it recognise any of those numbers? Sort of. 7812, that's a 12 volt regulator. 7412, that's a minus 12 volts. These are probably the plus and minus 5 volt regs at the back there, bolted to the back of the case to act as a heatsink. So that's the case. Like I say, pretty clean. There's some dust up there, a bit of dirt, but I have seen far worse. There's no dead Australian spiders to contend with, although I tend to prefer them when they're dead, to be honest. And here's the keys. Well, that's where the keys go. Somewhere in there. I was looking around online to see what the spares were for these, and the keys do seem to be single keys. I was expecting them to be on a frame and thought maybe they'd all been broken off the frame by someone, but they are all single freestanding keys, so there is hope that I can get those back in without having to bodge it. And there's the offending battery, which I will be whipping out fairly soon.